Hey metalheads, welcome back to Simo Metal, very special edition. We're on location at Adamstown Bowling Club with Avalanche. We've got Ryan,
G'day.
Stephen, Veronica and Arthur. But cheers heaps for giving us the opportunity to have a mad chat with you this evening. And we're really looking forward to the show too. Like, really looking forward to it.
Appreciate you putting us on, giving us the time. It's cool.
Cheers, awesome. So, first sort of question I would sort of ask would be, tell us about the early days. I read something about a steel factory in 2018. So,
It was actually my sister and her went to the same high school together, and my sister told me to go check her out because apparently she won the new AC/DC category of choreography of what I do. And then I saw her play at her high school, and then I asked her if she wanted to come over and jam. We just started playing AC/DC back to front.
Yep.
And then we just started rehearsing in the Still Factory, and we were trying to look for band members constantly.
Yeah, his dad's still
So
yeah.
that brings
awesome.
into
And
why the ACDC is a big influence.
Absolutely.
Learning that.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think that was one of your first big concerts.
Yeah, I went when I was like 15 or 16 with my dad to see
Yeah,
the Rock the Bus tour.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, pretty much after I was like, I want to do this.
Yeah, awesome.
I think I went either that one or the one after.
I think we all
So-
went to
We-
that
I think
thing
it was
at
the
like
Brisbane
different
one.
dates, different cities. We realised after
Yeah,
we were all
nice.
like at that tour. So it was
Yeah.
really cool.
That's cool.
And so that's sort of like one of those things that sort of brings everyone together too, is that type of music that you all enjoy the most. Me, I'm a bit of a death metal guy. Like I'll listen to all of this, like Slaughter to Prevail and all of this Thy Art Is Murder and all of those sorts of bands. But what I love is, even though Simo Metal is a metal channel, I still consider bands like AC/DC the early precursor to metal anyway. So and you guys have a heavier, even more modern sound. It's sort of like refined. So
Well produced.
yeah, very well.
produced.
I love the sound actually. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Like,
Well, that'd probably bring me on to another question in a minute actually. What was it like working with Steve James?
Yeah.
it was cool. Like the biggest thing with working with Steve James, we did actual like pre-production for this any of the songs, all of the songs that we did with him.
Yep.
So we actually came in, we played them to him before we actually came into the studio, and like had a good chat with him about what we should do and like what was working, what wasn't working.
And he really just made like the tiniest changes that we couldn't
Oh,
figure out
okay.
ourselves. Like, it was just make that bridge a bit shorter, or cut out that verse, or just change the tuning up a bit here. Just
Yeah.
something super simple.
Mate,
like
yeah,
that.
because he-
To
and
be
because
honest,
he's
most of
worked-
it was like just take an extra line out or
Yeah.
take this line out
Cut
or
this
something
line,
like that.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
the most simplest
Taking
stuff,
his
but,
experience
Yeah,
for the
like
bands
it's
that he's
kind of
worked
like
with
we
and
had
stuff.
like 90% of the ingredients to a really good cake.
Yeah,
And
okay.
he just had like the
The icing.
eggs, or you know, the
Chop
stuff,
this
one
here, put
little
this here,
ingredient.
yeah.
You know,
I've seen a few producers like that at work. I know a producer I know quite well, Lee Rolfe.
Sure.
He works up at the TAFE, but he's also worked with the Screaming Jets.
Yeah.
And same sort of thing. He doesn't like. He always said to me, "I don't like to jump on a band. I like to really see what they're cooking with, and then I'll just make suggestions." So that sounds very similar.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
like After the Tea, for example, I think the only note was originally our bridge was like twice as long as it was. That whole little solo section.
Yeah,
Which
okay.
works well live, but probably not on a recording.
And there was
Yeah,
big samples of
okay,
that
yep.
as well.
Yeah,
And we-
cut that
I've got a
out,
massive
so,
Who thing of that as well as
Yeah.
AC/DC.
Yeah.
Mainly because of that riff. There's a certain
Yeah.
riff you do. Yeah, when in the reaction when his hands come up, it's when that riff comes in. But that riff comes back every now and again, even when it's just with the bass and the drums.
And it's funny.
You're
'cause
doing your lead solo. That's
that
awesome.
song, you've had those riffs since she was like 16.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so like it's
Yeah, really.
been sitting
Yeah.
there for fucking
Yeah,
years.
but I think before I even met
That's
Ryan, I just
so
had that,
rad.
Like, finger riff, and me and Ryan, like in the early days, were trying to like put it into a song. We just couldn't figure out chords or a structure or anything.
I know that feeling. I've got a few really old songs that I've just brought to life not long ago, and
Yeah.
I know that feeling. Like these are riffs that I had since I was like Yeah, a teenager. So that's so rad. I relate to that so much. And so that is in Arm to the Teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, so is that the thunderstrucky kind of?
Yeah, the sort of like running riff that goes.
I love that running
It
riff.
had like a bit
It goes
of a chorus
all the way.
as well.
Yeah.
That's
Just from,
And it goes all the way through the song, doesn't
Pretty
it?
much all the way.
Yeah.
Other than when you do your solo,
yeah.
that pretty much is your part.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Tricky one.
That's cool.
That's fine. It's not playing just one-handed.
Yeah.
Never drink with the other.
So, another question. I really am a big fan of Chris Jericho and Fozzy, and I brought it up with Ryan earlier, but I really wanted to ask that one again and just sort of, what was that like opening up for Fozzy and a professional wrestler? Like, one of the world's biggest. I'm a big pro wrestling fan myself.
Yeah. No, it was actually pretty cool. Like, I think when we got there, we actually went into the soundtrack and got into the lift. And I looked up, and he's right there, just standing there.
You're
I'm
like,
like,
wow.
holy shit, I know this guy. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah,
You're Fozzy.
Yeah.
You're on the list!
yeah. So, but yeah, no, otherwise it was.
It was an
I think
awesome
that was like
night.
one of the biggest gigs we've done at the time.
Yeah, okay,
Like that
yeah.
awestruck moment where you're like, you're
Yes.
Fozzy.
100%. Just like,
Yeah, you look like I'm starstruck by you guys tonight, but yous would have been so starstruck by them.
Yeah,
Like,
we were just
yeah.
standing there,
Absolutely.
like, what do we say? Like,
Yeah.
I watched him when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I've been watching him since I was a kid, so I just had to ask that question. And then also like Buck Cherry as well. So some big names you guys are opening for. This is awesome.
International and Aussie.
Yeah, and
I've
yeah,
noticed that.
we notice a lot of big national names as well, like Super Jesus and
Screaming Jets. Dragon.
yeah. So
That
awesome.
was all sort of early beach last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome
Yeah, there was like
experience.
Ian Moss, Ross
Ian Moss,
Wilson, all
Dragons,
these big
Super
Aussie
Jesus.
people.
Ian Moss.
So yeah, let's talk about Early Beach. How was that?
Probably my top
That was
performance of the week.
Ian Moss.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, nice.
Even or Ross, they're both
Yeah.
absolutely killer. Absolutely. I didn't realize Ian Moss could sing as good, if not better, than Jimmy.
Not going to annoy anyone, but I prefer Cold Chisel with Ian Moss singing over Jimmy Barnes.
Yeah, there you go. No,
That's
yeah.
for a reason,
really
because I like
taken
his
back.
voice
I was
compared
like, wow, man,
to.
like, yeah, pretty much as good as
Yeah,
studio.
all the time.
the whole way through.
Yeah.
I think they did a few Chisel songs like that too.
Yeah, 100%. It was a good time.
Definitely would have been.
Yeah, so there's another one of those coming up. Are you a part of that one as well?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we're
awesome.
actually going to play the main stage, like on the main lineup this year.
Yeah, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
I haven't revealed what the lineup we know because I haven't revealed
I
it
was
yet,
just
but
gonna ask you, do
we're
you know
playing-
anyone?
We're playing
What they
between, no, not the order. Like
Oh, the order.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like we're playing in between some two pretty good bands. So
Yeah, awesome. All right,
Any
well,
of those?
Tattoos on there. We've
Yeah.
got
Yeah,
Sweet
nice.
from the UK.
Sweet, Thirsty Merc, Jebediah.
Yep.
It's gonna be awesome.
yeah, that's rad. I'm actually going to a Jebediah show soon as well. So yeah. So a lot coming up for Simo Metal as well. So
James Lane next week.
and just want to thank you heaps for coming on Simo Metal. In the future, I hope we can all look back and know that this is a thing that helped even build both of us. So I think it's great for both of us. So it's awesome. I only have 60 subscribers at the moment, but I had 50 before the release of the reaction video. And I've never seen ever 10 subscribers in a week. So that was like a real milestone for me. I was like, yes. So
He's texting me. Subscribe. I'm like,
yeah, we're hitting milestones, man.
Awesome.
We're getting there.
Yeah, but yous are getting there too. Like literally opening for bands like Fozzy and that. 10 years from now, I know Australia are going to be thinking of you guys as just as big as bands like Jebediah and Super Jesus. So, yeah. No, I already look at you as in that light. So, another question I want to sort of ask is, with the video that we reacted to and talking about that, how was that trip to Japan? Because in the video I said, It looks like they're having so much fun. But
Yeah, it was something.
tell us like maybe a Japan story or something like.
If there's some PG, you can tell us.
Yeah.
That was okay.
You want the
so
PG
they
or the
had,
MA
like-
version?
Yeah, probably the PG
MA can
just
be
for now.
off. The MA can be off the camera later. We can have the PG
Oh yeah,
one
tell us
now.
all about the MA version later.
I think the thing that got them especially was like the $2 beers.
Oh
Oh,
really?
wow.
Beers are $2.
It was
I don't
about 2, 3, maybe.
And-
$3.
Man, we'd
Yeah,
be
so-
smashed if we
You
go
go out
over
the
there.
convenience
Oh.
store,
Yeah,
and
and
just drink on
you
the
can
street.
drink on the street.
It
You
was
can
just
drink anywhere.
too easy.
So yeah, he passed out on the first night. He doesn't even remember
But
that.
that wasn't.
I wouldn't have made it to a gig if I had to do that.
Day, but we went to this restaurant and they started handing us out these the bottles of sake. And
Oh,
man,
that
I'll
stuff
tell
is
ya,
strong.
It tasted awesome. It really did taste awesome. But man, like you have the shot, and like I think it's customary for them to give you more if you have the whole thing because they think you want more.
So did, you,
Oh.
did you have to play a gig after having them?
No, that
No,
was
that was-
Oh, that was
Say,
after
because
the
I'm
show.
gonna say, 'cause
Oh,
that'd
thank
be
God.
nuts.
Very lucky.
That would
Yeah.
be nuts.
I don't remember anything after that restaurant.
Right.
we went to Tower Records apparently, and
You didn't
I remember
remember?
looking at the pictures the next day, going, I don't remember going there. When was I at Tower Records?
That is wild, eh?
There was another
Here,
night
have
after
this.
the Osaka gig. That was like our second last gig, so we were like in high spirits and that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Osaka
We
is
went out.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we went
nice.
out for a little bit, and then Ryan and I called it because we had enough. But these two kept going, and they didn't come back till like 6 a.m.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pulled an
Hang
all-nighter.
on, hang on a sec. He tried to come into bed stinking like shit.
They were sharing
like,
a
like
bed.
we were sharing in a bed with each other.
yeah.
And he came home around...
And you're like, what's this smell?
Yeah, 6, 7 a.m.
That's
Yeah.
you. That's you.
Yeah, too many of
As
them.
he walks in, and then I thought it was like, oh... Because V and I went back to the unit around like, probably like 1 or something.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like probably like 2, an hour later. But it was 6, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh wow.
And he jumped straight into bed stinking of alcohol and
Oh,
piss and
dude.
everything.
And that's the
And I
worst.
said, get the fuck. I said, get the fuck out of bed and go have a shower.
And you only smell it worse when you haven't been drinking for a while.
Good times, Arthur.
And then you get that stale
Alright,
smell
so
and you're like, get out.
What had happened, right, was in Osaka, we were staying at this hotel, and we figured it would have been the only hotel with it because they, instead of receptionists, they had robotic dinosaurs.
Oh, what?
Yeah, like
It's
Velociraptor.
going
Because
all
that's
AOL.
Japan
That
for
was-
you,
that was their
eh?
receptionist. So you come in, you take your key number off them, they talk to you and like all that sort of
Was there any
stuff.
actual people?
No, there was.
They were behind
Yeah, yeah.
It was,
Jeez.
but yeah, not when you go in. You full talk to them and everything. But yeah. So then we got into a taxi at the end of the night, and we are like, it's this hotel, and like we just assumed that was going to be the only one with a goddamn dinosaur robot.
Yeah.
And he ended up taking us to the other side of the city.
And there was a
another
whole
one.
but there's another one with more
So we're
dinosaurs.
just like, oh god, now we have no idea where we are.
Oh
It's like,
no.
Did
Oh,
we
man.
like walking back?
We just
That
walked
was
back,
something,
yeah.
just-
We didn't
yeah,
know
it
because
was-
man, it was so
crazy.
hard to find like
Yeah.
taxis at that time, and like
Yeah.
no one wanted a bar of us.
Oh
We're not
jeez.
taking these Aussie guys.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
That's
we
all
don't.
right.
We had to catch a bullet train to the next place at like 8, 9 a.m. So they slept like an hour, and I woke him up, and he's like, "But I just went to sleep."
Oh no. I've literally just closed my eyes. Oh no. Sounds like wild times in
The
Japan.
thing was, because we were playing the gigs, we were doing heaps of sightseeing, and we were filming the video. We
Yeah.
didn't account for rest at all.
Yeah, okay. And
We
then
all got like no more than like 2-3 hours.
and I've
sleep
seen you
each
got
night.
like all the Japanese people joining in with the songs and they're like
That's cool.
they're singing it with yous and they're like following yous out to the street and stuff and partying with yous. Like that's so rad.
They
It
really
was,
knew
yeah.
how to party.
It was awesome, man. Like,
They were
yeah,
awesome.
and for such like reserved, like respectful people,
Yep.
like Japanese people are, when they're at a show, man, they just let loose.
Yeah, rock and roll show. They just let wild.
Like,
That's what it
seriously.
looked like in the clips. So that's
it was
what
even
rad.
cool because, like we were saying, like there's the liquor laws there are different, so you can drink anywhere. So they let
Wow.
any like underage people into the pubs. Because like
Oh.
obviously there's not really that much of difference in them
Wow.
being in a pub than them being in a convenience store. So we had like little kids like
So
on people's
different
shoulders
here.
and stuff, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was just awesome.
The
It
other
was so
thing they
different.
smoke indoors, so every
Oh, everywhere just
Yeah.
smells like
Dude,
cigarettes.
remember
It was
the
a bit
last
much.
gig was it Kobe?
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
that-
it was
That was the worst one because it was like, I
didn't
think
need a
generally
smoke
the general rule
Yeah.
was like you can smoke before the gig, but when everyone was there at the gig, try not to. Or at least that's what it seemed
Yeah,
like
yeah.
to me. And then at the Copenhagen gig, everyone was just smoking the whole time.
yeah.
Like,
So
I don't think they turned the smoke.
So
machine
even when you're like playing up on stage, like you can smell all the
yeah.
smoke,
like,
like
everywhere.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
know.
Like the old school days of
already-
the 80s, man.
I'd already had like barely any voice after doing like 5 nights in a row.
Oh,
so
dude.
there was just smoke everywhere, and it was like,
I was just literally
it was
wearing
difficult,
your singing
but-
voice.
But I gotta say, that was probably one of the funnest gigs.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, right.
100%.
Nice. Nice, guys.
So, a question for you, Veronica and Steve. How do you balance that family dynamic in that band dynamic as well?
Oh, we don't.
You just don't.
This is band.
I love
This is home.
It does make it a lot easier because, like, you know, we're always with each other whenever we got to do business stuff as well as musical stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just hard to switch off. It's kind of like always there.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, but I could not have my wife anywhere near my band.
Yeah, he said that to me the other day, and I'm
I
like,
could not.
yeah, I don't see that working.
I mean, like at this point, it's like become like such a
Like,
normal
it's our
thing now
life.
that like
Yeah.
No,
we're
that's
so used
awesome.
to it. Like,
Yeah.
it is kind of good in a way that we're both like keen to sort of do it at
That-
every moment.
Yeah.
And that does work now. Like I mean, obviously, like in the earlier days, it was a bit harder when you definitely can't switch off, or you know,
Yeah.
you're finding it hard to, and then like all of a sudden something else happens, you're like.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like like especially the last 2 years, like we've gotten to a really nice rhythm with like working in it.
That's right.
And working together, I should say.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. And so moving on from that one, something I want to really talk about here is the fact that there was Avalanche in the 1970s.
Yes.
And that your father, Adrian, I believe, am I correct? Yep.
So did you take the name, like, did you, like,
Yeah.
take the name from your dad, or did he say, hey, I'm cool for you to use this? This
Yeah,
is
well,
what's...
like he helped teach me how to sing, and
Yep.
like it's obviously been a big influence and inspiration throughout my life. And that.
Yep.
So when we were putting the band together, like we were thinking of names, and literally nothing was sticking. Like, and nothing was working as it usually goes. And yeah, I just thought of it one day. I was like, maybe we should name it Avalanche. And I brought it up to Dad, and eventually got in contact with the old guitarist and bass player.
Yeah, wow, that's
And,
awesome.
Yeah, they all approved. They all said it was all good.
Yeah, that's
They were really happy
rad.
with it. And yeah,
Cool.
it's
Reincarnation.
And so it's a
Name.
reincarnation
Exactly.
almost.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
100%.
so rad.
100%.
Because I do remember when I did look yours up on Google, it actually says there's sort of like an article that says 1970s Avalanche, and that's when I started reading that, and then I put the pieces of the puzzle all together, and I was like, this is rad what you're doing, man. So I love
and the
that.
funniest thing we just found the other day. So we recently joined up with Premier Artists this year.
Oh, okay.
The big part of Mushroom and all that.
Yeah.
And we just got sent a photo from someone on Instagram the other day. It was like an old photo of the Premier Artists, like
Roster,
roster
back in the day.
like had like AC/DC, all that sort of names, and then at the top Avalanche.
Avalanche.
Oh, wow.
So we've come full circle.
You put,
Yeah.
you can put both side by side.
Yeah.
Same thing. Bang.
Yep.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool the other day. I was like, wow. I didn't
And-
realise they were with Premier Artists.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, full circle, and like, what is it like working with them? Like, is that awesome or what?
Yeah, no, it's
Leading to bigger things,
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah.
No, it's awesome to have like an actual team.
and yeah,
It takes some of the weight off. and the
Oh
stress
man,
off.
like that is.
and you can really focus on the music
I'd say
and the
probably-
shows.
I would
Yeah,
say probably the hardest thing about being an independent or local band is having to balance all of that extra work.
I feel
on
ya.
top of already playing music.
Usually you
playing
have
gigs,
someone that does it
practicing.
the whole lot.
And
Yeah.
it usually gets delegated to one person. That one person might end up resenting the others for not helping, and it just ends up being an absolute.
Yep.
It's literally one of the hardest things to deal with as a band. So once you do have like a team behind you, it's just so much easier.
Even as this picks up steam, I might even have to start getting a team behind Simo Metal.
Exactly.
And that's where our man Aaron has even been talking to me. And so something like Simo Metal can be great for the music scene, but then also what you guys are doing is, the be all end all. So, yeah.
No, 100%, man. Like, it's definitely made a big difference. I feel like, yeah, gotten a lot of like extra opportunities this year. A lot of things that would have been a lot harder to do.
Yeah. And that goes for travelling overseas and stuff like that as well, like setting up those bigger tours and stuff like that.
We did set up most of the Japan tour ourselves.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah, it was in the works for quite a while before we actually went. So yeah, we managed to do that ourselves, luckily.
We're saying that we are hoping to have some other stuff in the works too, which hopefully we should be announcing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep our shut.
Okay, I feel ya.
But we are
we're definitely looking
we're
at
definitely
more
planning on
international trips.
going on another international
Yeah,
trip.
awesome.
Japan again, amongst other places.
Yeah,
Well, we
awesome.
have to go back to Japan.
Yeah, we do.
And like, have you ever set your sights on the big A, the big USA? Have you ever got there yet, or
Oh, man,
have you got
actually,
sights
yeah.
set there?
We have looked into it a bit, but honestly, the visas do not look very.
Oh yeah, they just raised the visa.
They do not look very inviting.
Yes, actually,
Yeah.
I had some friends go to Hawaii not long ago, and it was for a whole wedding thing, and they just said to me, if you're ever going to Hawaii, prepare to pay double for everything that you've just paid for.
That's America.
Yeah, so...
Apparently, for
Ridiculous,
musicians,
yeah.
they raised it to like quadruple the price what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it. It was a post from Frenzel Road the other day.
Oh.
And they were talking about why they couldn't go to USA this year or next year. And
Yeah,
like,
okay, well, there
originally
you
it was
go.
like $1,500 for a visa or whatever, and now it's like $6,000.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
much
oh,
stuff.
damn.
You do that per band member?
Yeah, holy crap. All right, new question.
All of a sudden you're looking at a pretty big bill.
So, moving away from the USA then, let's talk
Europe might
about
be a bit easier.
Blokes World.
Yes. Yeah.
So, they've been featuring some of your music in that lately. Now, how's that been? Like, is that extra exposure? And have you done some live stuff with Blokes World? Or?
Well,
not with
funnily
them.
enough, he just showed up to like one of the gigs.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, awesome.
I think
Okay.
it was
The Orange
last
Orange.
year or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just. I think they were doing like the Bathurst race or something.
Oh, yeah,
playing in
wow.
Orange, and he was just at the venue, and he
Yeah,
called
nice.
us, and he was like, "I love your sound, and send me some stuff, and I'll play them." And so we kept in contact with him, and
Yeah,
he's
cool.
been playing us on the TV, on the socials and stuff. So
That's
yeah,
it.
it's been pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah,
it
I
was
was
really
even,
nice guys.
I even turned on the TV one day and just flicking through the channels, and I actually heard Get Back was on.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Killer Instinct was on. I was like, what the hell?
Ah,
Hearing yourself is
Yeah,
even,
it's like-
it's weird.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Like that. Oh man.
It was pretty cool.
so, I want to talk about sort of coming back to 1970s Avalanche, the cover of Sweet Baby Brown Eyes, and doing that as a sort of a love letter to the original band almost.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's so great, but I love that song in particular. I had to listen to it, and I sort of got hooked on it the other day. So the kids were like,
Pretty
play that
catchy.
one again.
Oh,
So,
right.
yeah,
It's a nice,
yeah.
it's a catchy song.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I
good.
mean, very like they were like probably a lot more sort of classic rock sounding than we like to go more hard rock and
Yeah.
Hard rock, pub rock.
little
But
bit
it
more
gives
heavier
the
and
essence
faster.
of that, like, where the roots come from, I
Exactly,
suppose. Yeah.
But I remember when I was talking to him about it, I was saying like, oh, should we do it like exactly, you know, chord for chord, note for note sort of thing? He's like, no, do it your own way. Like, make sure you do it your own way. Like, I would be disappointed if you did it
'Cause it's
the
an
exact
evolution.
same way.
Yeah, okay,
You know,
yeah,
I want you
awesome.
to sort of change it a little bit. So like we
It took
did.
a bit of working out.
And like,
yeah.
it's not that we changed it really. All we did
Just
was
to
make it a bit
evolve the song.
faster and
Yeah.
like, you know, changed like some of the melodies a little bit like that.
And another
Yeah.
thing with Steve James for this one, he only made one suggestion. That was just like down tune it. To make
Yeah.
it sound a bit heavier. That was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it-
So
it's
it is a
like
little bit
half-
down-tuned,
Yeah,
yeah.
half a step down, I think. Was it half
Yeah,
a
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
half
half
step.
step.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the only song we've ever done any different tuning.
It was just sounding a bit too like major kind of
I think it was
sounding. So
I think it was
Yeah,
with,
okay.
Harmonies on too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's the
was
first time I've
different to
harmonised on
everything
myself.
else, but it was fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think everything these days is starting to get down tuned. You know, like
Yeah.
the great down tuning. I'm in the metal world where I heard another YouTuber, Finn McKenty, talk about the great down tuning of 1993, and it's like when bands like Korn came on the scene,
Yeah.
and they had these 7-string guitars and
Drop D, drop C.
Yeah, and then like all of the gent stuff that sort of like came about in the last 10 years, and like everyone's got to have a 9-string guitar or a 20-string guitar, or it's like a competition.
How does that not weight your neck down?
Yeah, that's it. It's playing up to the
That many strings
floor.
only makes the body heavier.
Yeah.
Far out.
Chatting for about half an hour now, so we can wrap it up soon.
Yeah, too good.
But is there anything sort of you just want to like mention or promote or talk about anything coming up, or is there anything sort of like
Or anything you can talk about.
yeah, or anything you can talk about? Yeah.
So yeah,
we've got the rest of this tour for Onto the Teeth.
yeah. So this week we're at Adamstown. Now next week we're off. And then we've
And then we've got Macquarie Arms in Windsor, we've got Melbourne, we've got Central Coast. And,
Yep.
Yeah. And then we're hoping to do another tour kind of around Airlie Beach in November. And
Yeah,
maybe
awesome.
Another release then too, so
Nice.
yeah, just keep
Right, so more music on the way, plenty of music on the way. I had a good listen to the EP as well, actually. I really like that as well.
Oh yeah.
So,
New band, yeah.
but Under the Teeth is sort of like a statement. Yeah, that's what I got from it. It's sort of like, here we are, and this is what we sound like. So,
It does catch your attention.
yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely the intention. Get something like stadium rock sort of sound, like something to feel.
Yeah. Well, actually, just talking about stadium rock for a sec, I actually have been reading this book, and it's called The Science of Sound. And what it gets into is it talks about, have you ever noticed like a big Phil Collins sounding song will just radiate through a stadium? But if you take, let's say, Thy Art Is Murder to a stadium, and all those double kickers and all of that high gain distortion, everything just becomes mud.
Just lost.
But with big epic stadium songs like what you hear from like Def Leppard, it's all designed to be and everything da na 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 na.
That's why Queen worked good.
Yeah, that's how Queen works with their
And
music.
Bon Jovi
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's why all of that works amazing. But I also see a lot of that in your music as well, because the drums are given time to breathe, the guitar riffs let everything else breathe, and then the vocals can just soar over the top. So, yeah. And then those chugging bass lines, man. I love those bass lines.
Thank you.
I love that big Explorer bass, actually.
Yeah. Man, I've pretty much been playing them exclusively since I picked one up.
Yeah, awesome. Because me and Kyle are musos, so I love to nerd out over like guitars and drum kits and stuff. But no, it's cool. Also, just talking muso with yous. Like, I've played guitar since I was like 12.
Yep.
And my son is lucky enough to have the chance to be learning guitar since he was like 8.
Yeah. Right.
So he's going to be awesome eventually.
Yeah.
Most of my kids are rock kids. They really get into like Nirvana, and they like my son is exploring Rage Against the Machine like they have never existed before, and they're a brand new band.
Yeah.
Like
That's
he's
my 4-year-old son. He's exactly the same. He was doing the same since he was 2.
yeah.
Rock out, Dad. Yeah, mate. Yes, that's what we're doing. Yes, mate.
Oh, that's so good.
He tells me, yeah, we rock out.
I want to mention about Frankie's Pizza and how that like helped get you started, and that was like one of your first residencies. Is that right?
Well, in a way, like it wasn't like a monthly thing
It
or
wasn't
anything,
official, we were just
but
playing
yeah,
there a lot.
we did play there
Yeah.
plenty. Of
So it's like it's definitely part of the history,
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
even
Yeah, we shot one of the videos, Bottle of Sin there.
Bottle of Sin, yeah, that was shot down there, on a night where we were actually headlining a show there.
Yeah.
So
We
like
pretty
it's like a
much
proper
just-
gig sort
We
of
got
thing.
pissed with the tats. Roast tattoo.
oh really?
Yes.
What a mad opportunity
Well, it was actually
with the angry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
wow.
actually I think the year prior they were going to close Frankie's Pizza, but then they extended it for another year.
Yep.
Roast tattoo were
cool.
playing them the final show, was it, for Frankie's to close?
It kept going on for a
No,
little
I
bit.
think,
it was
they
the
played their last
birthday.
birthday.
Yeah, last birthday. That's it. Last birthday, and I actually managed to do like I wouldn't say like sound engineering, but like drum tech for the drummer.
Oh.
I've become close mates with now, and
It's cool.
and at the end of the night, we're just having drinks with bloody Mark Evans, Angry.
Yeah, rad.
Dad, so they remember
Yeah.
that.
Oh.
Man, Frankie's was awesome. Like the guy that owned it, Jordan, he helped us out heaps by putting us on as much as he did. And
That's awesome.
he always like had that sense of like, I just want to help local bands out,
Yeah, that's the same sort of vibe I get off these guys and Aaron and Big Apache. Just the impact of social media and streaming on your music. What kind of impact does that have? How does that affect you guys? Like CDs and stuff like that? Like,
I mean, like we're probably 5-6 years into the band now. So the first release that we did was very much the same sort of thing. Like we just wanted to put some songs out there.
yeah, that's
see how
that
that went,
feeling. Yeah.
And then we did another EP after that, which was a lot better because we had a lot more skills at that point.
Yep.
And then after that, we sort of realised exactly what the game sort of is and what we should do, and that's sort of where we are now. So that's why we're sort of all right, we'll record a bunch of songs and then we can slowly release them and get a bit of hype going behind it, and just sort of play that sort of game and and eventually make it a lot bigger and better than what it was before we released it.
Yeah, and social media as well. Have you found that's been a thing that's super duper helped you, or can it be detrimental sometimes too?
I mean, it definitely has its benefits.
I guess it's kind of like what we grew up on, we didn't
Yeah.
really experience the non-social media music industry, so
Yes.
it's always been at the forefront for us, I guess. But
Yeah.
I mean, I personally don't even really like it. But,
Yeah.
you gotta use it, so.
I don't think anyone likes it. I mean, realistically.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously it's helpful, and you gotta play the game and all that.
Yeah, that's it.
At the end of the day, we'd love to just play music, but
You know what?
you got to do it.
I heard Rick Beato say something the other day, and it really rung with me because even me, I'm a musician and I release my own music, but I'm also something else. And he said, these days, it's getting harder and harder to just be a musician as a musician. It's usually you're a musician and. You're a musician and a social influencer. You're a musician and you're a YouTube channel. You're a musician and you know what I mean? Like what we're doing right now. So, yeah.
Especially with the, modernization of the music industry, you for a long time you're doing your own bookings, you're doing your own... everything.
That sort of stuff was how
promotions.
my band started out. We didn't have social media. We started out with CDs, we want to record, but we just sort of left it to just playing gigs.
Yeah. Even one of my earliest bands, we played lots of gigs, never recorded really that much. And now, one thing that I really do hate about that was that I was in a really good band that played a lot of shows with these guys, and we only ever recorded 2 demos. So there's no real true history of that band anymore. There's not even many shows or anything footage left. I asked mates from that band, I'm like, do you have anything? And they're like, man, I've got a few photos. And I'm like, we were something around here. We were called a Villain's Embrace. We were sort of like a Escape the Fate sort of thing, or a Bullet for My Valentine sort of emo, screamo sort of band. I was doing all that stuff. And then there was another guy up the front doing all of the really punk rock vocals and stuff like that. But I think it is getting a little bit later now, so I'm going to wrap it up. But I'm going to thank all of yous. Arthur, Veronica, Steve, and Ryan, thanks so much for coming on Simo Metal. It is officially the biggest moment for Simo Metal to have Avalanche on. It's literally a milestone of the channel, and something that I'd love to revisit in a few years is if Simo Metal is in a whole different place than it is now, and we come back and we do this again. And
just to see where both parties are.
Just see where both parties are. And
hopefully we're still going.
I reckon you still will be.
You will be going. Don't talk like that.
Yeah, don't talk like that. Yeah, we knock on the wood.
Never,
we always
ever
knock on the wood.
will we still be going, because you just don't know what.
No.
You'll still be
honestly,
going.
we feel honoured to have the time.
Awesome. Cheers.
Thanks so
Well,
much for having us. Yeah.
and a one-on-one interview, you know, like I was really initially trying to just set up like some sort of Skype interview or something like that. I would have been happy with that. And I, at that point, hadn't done my research fully because Aaron pipes in and he's like, dude, he's basically telling me, he's just like, dude, they're playing in your town.
Go and do a live
Like,
interview.
this can be much easier than you're making it out to be, Simo. So once he said that, I'm just like, hold the press, guys. Can we do that?
He texts me, like, we're going to do this. Oh, are we? Cool.
Yeah.
Nice, I'm cool. I'm more the chill guy. He's the,
Yeah, I'm the one who doesn't shut up. I need him here to pull me back from you guys to the point where I'm just talking your ears off. And he's like,
Even though I'll just let him talk. It's fine. It's good.
but I need him. I do. I need him. But thanks for coming on the channel. I'm just going to say to all the metalheads, stay metalheads. And we are going to get out there and we're going to film some footage of the show. We're going to get that up and we are going to make that a part of the video as well. So thanks to Avalanche. Check them out on all social media, all music
All
streaming
streaming
platforms. And you can find them on all social media as well. I will put plenty of info about Avalanche in the description. I'll just pretty much just put your whole press kit down there and just, yeah. Stay metalheads.
Rock on.
Rock on. Yeah. That's sort of the full stop. So.
Are we ready for some rock and roll? Yeah, that's what we like. Alright, this next one's another little special one we cooked up yesterday.